Good afternoon, everybody. How are we? I hope we are doing okay. Let's hope we don't have any technical difficulties today. So, that's not my luck. Right. I'm there. I'm frozen, but I think I'm going to carry on because it normally sorts itself out. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it will. I'm going to keep on looking on my Facebook page for a while, just to see how we're going. So yeah, if I'm not actually looking and talking to you, or if you leave a comment and I don't answer, it's because I've got it over there just watching a little bit. Who knows? I don't know why it's doing this. I know a few people have been having some issues with Facebook. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be catching up just yet, does it? We're not looking good, are we? At all. If you are on here and you're watching and it's absolutely fine for you, or if it's freezing, please tell me. I know I've had it frozen on my laptop in the past, but then I've used Dell's device and it's absolutely fine. So yeah, we shall go with it. We shall see. I've come off Facebook and yeah, we'll just hope for the best. That's all we can do, isn't it? Right then. So, we've got lots going on as per usual. So we will run through a few things that we've got happening, or I will. Oh God, I do apologise. I've got a cold sore. I've just noticed I've got a mark there. Don't know what that is. Hopefully it's shadow. Yeah. Double rewards for today and tomorrow. Any orders you put through that qualify for rewards will get double rewards. So if you have stuff on your wish list or in your basket, now's the time to check it out. Then also Paper Pumpkin. If you aren't registered for Paper Pumpkin subscription, you can still do that. That's an ongoing thing now. But this time, signing up now and going forward till the 10th of May will get you the Make It, which is Sparkling Celebrations. And it's quite moody. Blackberry Bliss. I think it's Daffodil Delight, Melon Mambo, and it's Chinese lanterns. You know, the paper things. They're Chinese lanterns, aren't they? I think the paper things that people put little candles in and fly up. Yeah, never done one. Don't like them. But I like pictures of them and stuff. So yeah, that's that one. So yeah, just wanted to remind you about that. Right. Today, do something a little bit different. I thought on Tuesday I had a blog hop where I created this card for the blog hop. And I got lots of comments on this. And I thought, you know what? Let's recreate it. Do exactly the same layout. but using different colours and papers. So that's what we're going to do. So let's switch cameras and then we can craft. I want to drink my tea before it goes cold. You know, sometimes you just make a really nice cup of tea for yourself and you're really enjoying it. That was that one. Right, so yeah, this is what we're going to recreate. So I've pulled out some bits and I have pulled out the Boho Vibes DSP. This is still available. It is on last chance. I thought, you know, that will give it a total different feel. Put my light on. That may help. Do tell me how the camera seems as well, because even though I'm using my phone, I'm only using my back camera, not my triple camera. And I just thought, you know, let's see if there is actually any difference. I can't see any difference myself when I'm looking through it, but we'll see. Right, so first of all, I prepared some bits. A white card base. That's a standard C6 card base. No, A6 card base. That measures 10.5 by 14.9. And then I've got my standard layer, which is 10 centimeters by 14.4. Like that. And then we want a layer of Secret Sea. I've chosen Secret Sea and Cloud Cover for my colours for today. So I want to cut this layer at 9.5. So it's 0.5 centimetre smaller again by 13.9. And then when we pop that on there, that'll give us a nice border around there as well. I think I need a new blade. I'm making a new album, a new mini album, and I think I've blunted my blade cutting the grey board for my covers. Right, so that'll be there. And then we want our paper. Now, I've picked out these two because I like them and I thought they'd go well. Now we can have that on the back with a circle of that, or we could have the more colourful one on the back with a circle of that. Now I'm going to be popping a Secret Sea camera on top. So I think, so that it pops more, we'll go that way. So we need a layer of this, which is just 3 millimeters smaller than our Secret Sea layer. So if that was 9.5, I want 9.2. So we're going to have a thin border around, and it was 13.9, so we want 13.6. And that should just give us a small border around. And I like doing a smaller border when it's a darker colour because it pops anyway. And it's a nice contrast. There we go. Right, so we've got that. Now I want to die cut a circle from this. And I'm using the stylish shapes, and I'm going to use the largest circle. I'm going to bring in my mini machine because I'm sure this one fits through. Yes, easily. Right, so just easier using the mini on camera. Doesn't take up quite so much room. I'm just giving that a trim so it will fit through there nicely. Cut that out. And go. And that'll give us our circle on there. Nice. Then we need to do some stamping. Die cutting of our camera. Put that out the way. Right, so I want some secrecy for my camera, and I'm wondering if it'll fit on this piece. Do you know, I haven't got so much stuff out because I've got out my colours. I haven't got all my colours of cardstock out to the side of me. So I've got more room, and I just seem to be a bit more disorganised. Right, will our camera fit on there? It's a bit tight. It would, but it's tight. So we'll use this one. Pop our camera there. And then we need our lens piece, which will fit down there. Fabulous. And on this one, I put a heart in the middle. Yeah, I am going to put a heart in the middle. So that'll fit. And then we need this front piece out of a lighter colour. So I'm going to do that out of cloud cover. Okay. Right. Let's grab a block. No, they won't fit on that one altogether. Will it fit on this one? It will. Now, I don't want to put the heart on because that's slightly different. These I'm going to stamp in black. So we'll use our memento to stamp them. Let's bring in our stamping mat and a piece of scrap. One day I might treat myself to a new piece of grid paper on here. I just want to check that that's on okay, so that I get a good stamp. Yes, because our blocks are rounded on the edge and that's so close to it, I wondered if it had stamped correctly, but it does. Whoop. We'll get rid of that before I end up with it on something. That's the good thing about having vinyl on my desk. I can wipe it. And it comes in extremely handy with having cats who like to jump up. Well, excuse me if you see my head. I'll make sure I get that as close to the bottom as possible so I'm not wasting cardstock. Fabulous. And then my little heart, grab a little block for that. I'm going to do that tone on tone, secrecy. It'll be ever such a slight difference. In fact, you probably can't tell the difference. And then we'll stamp a front piece for our camera on our cloud cover using memento again. Now this is quite a simple card. There's lots of layers but it's all very simple. There we go. It looks like the sun's come out to join us. It's not been the best morning, but there is some sun there now. Oh, that will fit. Excellent. Right. Let's grab our dies. We want our camera. I'm going to bring this down to line this up. Wonderful. And I love how these dies line up. They're quite close on, so you don't get a big border. Okay. I just use old washi tape, which is why it keeps splitting, to stick my dies down. I have got repositionable tape, but I find that's a little bit sticky, so I end up doing exactly the same, putting it on my jumper or whatever to get rid of some of the sticky. Right, let's grab our lens. Have I put that on with that, or is it too close? No, we're good. Good, we're good. And then the last one is our heart on this piece. Put that on that. And we'll just run that through. There we go. And we'll take these out. Lovely. Put that nice. Our heart. I left that a little bit too sticky, so we'll pop that in the bin. Not going to be precious about a piece of card. Our camera, I'll pop that away. And then we've got our lens. Fab, and pop that away. And then I just need to cut out the front piece of our camera. And so, have to say, where I brought this bundle, the Capturing Smiles bundle, mainly for scrapbooking. Of course, very often I've wanted a camera or I've wanted a die of a film reel like that. But I've really enjoyed creating cards with it as well. I did think maybe I'd struggle for different ideas, but no, I seem to have done okay. I think this tape has had it. Right, let's get rid of all the rubbish and move this, and we can start assembling our card. Okay, let's bring that in. So I'm going to start gluing these together. If I grab some glue. No good without glue, is it? Just done a little check and I am on the move on Facebook. And put some glue on there. So we've got basic white on basic white, just for a little bit of added texture and depth. I do like layers. And then we've got our Secret C layer on next. We've got our DSP. How gorgeous is that? I love this DSP. I think it's about £9 for the pack at the moment, which is fantastic. It is a 6x6. Which, if you've had a catalogue, one of the new catalogues, you will notice that we are having fewer 6x6 papers. The actual reason for this, I'm unsure of. My conclusion is that obviously with scrapbooking, having 12x12 is easier, but also standard card fronts, we can get 6 out of a piece of 12x12, whereas a piece of 6x6, we can get 1. And then you end up with a lot of pieces besides. Now, we can have it on the skew and also have a little camera on the skew, or we can have it that way. I think I quite like it straight. Yeah, I'm going to pop it on straight. I'm just going to pop this flat, because we're going to build up our camera. Now I am going to overlap, not the actual edge of the card, but the edge of my layer. And pop it down there. So it's just short of the edge of the card and around the halfway down. Let's build our camera. And I am going to use dimensionals for this. I'll use some large dimensionals on there, 5 on there. Okay. Mentioned in the catalogue, I have got a few copies of the new catalogue, the May, June, July. Yeah, May, August. Yeah, 4 months. The May to August catalogue. I do have a few copies here. If you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a copy, do get in touch and I'll get one popped in the post for you. I know lots of people still like catalogue. I like having a catalogue to flick through. Though obviously it doesn't have all of our products in there, because we now have online exclusives and the kits change constantly. Come on. Oh, gosh. There we go. Just cut up some dimensional edges to pop around there. So I hope everyone's had a lovely week. I have. I've been doing lots of creating and bits in the garden still doing. Got an edge piece for our heart. Fit on there. So, yeah, it's been nice. Oops, that's gone wonky. Too far the other way now. That's okay. There we go. Like that. So we'll pop that on here. Yeah, I think that looks nice. I'm just going to put that down flat because we've already got 2 layers of dimensionals. Sometimes you just need to go with the dimension, don't you? There we go. Like that. Wonderful. Then I want a happy birthday. And I'm going to put that onto basic white. If I can find my little baggie of white bits. There we go. Stamping platform. Basic black. Not basic black at all, is it? It's Memento. And then I'm going to use the Simply Said, which is also on the last chance list. Oh, sorry about the phone. I had it on because I was expecting a call yesterday from the hospital. And of course, I forgot to turn it off. Right, so you could use any happy birthday or any sentiment you want. I just wanted something that was quite simple. Okay. Fab. I love that sentiment. Just the simplicity of it. That's perfect. All right, so chop there. And I'll need to chop that a bit closer. And then I'm going to bring in my mini trimmer, which I so wish we still had this available because I use it all the time. Like all the time. For doing smaller pieces like this. I'm not very good at cutting with my scissors straight, proper straight. And if I'm doing something like this, I want it straight. So yeah, I always use a mini trimmer. I'll chop that in half, well, not in half, so that we separate the words. I'm going to pop dimensionals on these. I'll put a strip of this. Each one, that should just fit on there nicely. And that one on there. Wonderful. Oops. Throwing it away. So we'll just have slightly off skew. I like having things slightly off. It's more forgiving. There we go. And then I want a bow on here. I'm going to use twine, the same as I used on my last one. And we'll use black twine. This is the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. And don't watch how I do this. I don't know how I do it. I just do it, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to do a double bow. I'll pop that through there. Up around that. Tie that off there. Oops. Something like that. Like I say, don't ask me how I do it. I just do it. Tighten that. Tighten a knot. Because it doesn't always work for me. Okay, they're about the same. Yeah, trim that off. Put that away. Glue dot. Now I'm just using some little glue dots that are left over from a kit. I'm just going to pop one on there where there's that little sticky out a bit and a hole to be able to place something on. Fab. Right, and then I want some embellishments. Now, I think I have some ink colour embellishments. I do. Let's see. Excuse me, my tummy's rumbling. So we've got Secret Sea and Cloud Cover. Quite like the Cloud Cover ones because they're not quite so. I think these are a bit. Oh, they don't look. I thought they might look a bit too heavy, but no. I'm going to go Cloud Cover. I'll have one down here. Medium up here, and then we'll have a small one over here. There, and we'll put an inner card. Pop all that away. Try and keep everywhere clean and tidy and clean. I should have a pre-cut basic white layer, and then I'm going to cut. Is that long enough? It is. Just going to trim a centimetre strip off our paper. Now you could use either paper, the spotty one, this one, or the other one. I'm going to go for the colourful. And we're just going to pop that down the edge. I'm just going to put, not right to the edge, I just put a line of glue. Now obviously you could put the glue on here, but because I've cut this actually longer than I need it, because it's just 6 inches from the paper, I find if I do it this way, I can then trim it. Just pop that down there, leaving a little gap. Trim that off. And then it fits perfectly. Pop that inside. Like so. There we go. Brilliant. So that is exactly the same layout, but in different colours. And I think it looks fabulous in both. Right, so what I thought I would do next is show you how I created this card. And this is one I did for an Insta Hop. I thought we'll do the same again, doing it in a different colour. So, what colour shall we go with? I think we ought to use one of the new upcoming in colours. And I think we will go with, see, Hydrangea Hue is my favourite. I'm using blue again, but that's okay, isn't it? I can use blue again if I want to. I've just broke my nail. Yeah, I need to use Hydrangea Hue. Sorry, people. Right, so I've got no more layers pre-cut. So let's cut. Wrong box. I'll cut some basic white layers. So I cut mine at 14.4 and 14.4 because while I'm doing one, I may as well do 4. That's a bit of scrap I'll throw away. By 10. And then that'll give me my front and inner for this card and 2 spare. I don't keep those little pieces. I've got so much scrap. It's ridiculous. How often I'm going to want a piece that's that small is possibly quite rare. And the chances of me stamping neatly onto that is even rarer. So I throw them away and use the thicker bits and cut them down. It's extremely rare that I haven't got a bit of scrap white to use. Right, that'll be enough, so we'll leave that over there. Right, I need my glass mat because I'm going to make a bit of a mess. And even though I can wipe my desk, it's easier to do the glass mat. That's something all over that. Right, so I want the small camera stamp out of here and a block, small block. Being sticky. Oh my gosh. This is just a real simple monochromatic card. Other than having a little play on my unboxing, I haven't used these ink pads. Apparently they take a little bit of getting used to because we're used to the sponge and the foamy sponge, and these are felt. But I don't believe it's a major issue. I want my stamping mat. So let's have a go. And I'm going to do this on first and second generation. Shouldn't have done that one really because it wasn't right. But that's okay. We'll go with it. That's the thing when you don't put a full one on, you forget to re-ink it. I have part one. Now I am wondering about doing 2 colours. Now I know I only did 1 on this one. No, we'll stick with the 1. I just want some on the edges, just because it's nice. Stops it from looking too much like it's something you've stamped and some more like something that, a pattern that you've cut from somewhere. There we go. Happy with that. I do love this colour, I have to say. Hydrangea Hue. It's very nice. Right, now we're going to do a bit of blending so that it's not white and blue. We're going to do some blending. So there's a bit of ink in the top of there, so I'm going to use that first. And then a couple of taps and then just blend on. Just to take the stark whiteness away. Bit of extra ink. That's better. It's such a pretty blue. It's been likened to the boho blue, which, yeah, I can see that, but it is different. It's very much a periwinkle kind of blue. There, I'm happy with that. Like I say, I just want it to have, or not have, that stark white. Okay, so just grab my chamois, wipe that off. I've got splatters on there. Wipe it, make sure it's dry. I could do some splatters on this actually. No, I can't, because I haven't got my hydrangea hue blend. Unfortunately, it got missed out my order, but it's on its way, so we won't splatter. Right, so we need to stamp our sentiment, and the sentiment I've used is Layered Thoughts, and I did a happy birthday because we all need birthday cards. And so I'm gonna grab a block. Now I'm wondering, do I do it in black or do I do it in grey? I think I'm going to do it in grey because it's just that little bit softer against the blue. Let's grab a piece of scrap. Basic grey. Excuse my head. I do like using basic grey sometimes instead of, is that big enough that way? Nope. Instead of the black. A couple of presses. Wonderful. So it's not quite so harsh, which is what I like, especially if you're using a soft tone colour. Right, so we need to fussy cut. If you don't want a fussy cut, you could just use a label die or something to die cut it, but I don't mind fussy cutting. Oops, gone way off there. And I don't exactly go into every crevice, I just do up and down, round about where the stamp goes. Good idea I saw someone show was if you want to fussy cut your sentiments but you're not sure what shape will fit, like you want to trim them down but you're like, oh, how far shall I go, is to use the actual stamp and draw around the stamp and then fussy cut that shape. So with this one, let's just clean it off. Save that. If I stamp it, don't know how well it'll work with this one, because it's not much different. But if you ink it up, stamp it, clean your stamp, like so. Let's close that before we end up with something in it. And then if you lay your stamp back over, Evangeline, dog's seen something in the garden. And grab a pencil, and you can just trace round. I mean, I'm not doing it perfectly. Just so it gives you that line to follow. There we go. And then, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, just see that little faint line. And you can follow that round and trace that. Because I know some people do struggle with, well, how should I cut it? But obviously the stamp's cut to the perfect shape for the stamp, for the actual sentiment. So yeah, I mean, mine's probably not that far off really. All right, so we're gonna grab a piece of hydrangea hue. Have I got some scrap in here? I should have, because yeah, I used it. So I'm going to glue that on there. I updated my colour coach. Cut a piece of each, and then pop that on there. This is just to mat it, and then I'll just cut it out like so, so I haven't got all that bulk there. And then I'm just going to go around that. Again, I'm not being perfect about it. I think sometimes it looks better. I'm just quickly going round. Needs to go a bit further. Trying to keep the border something like even. I mean, I know it's not even, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be. It also makes a big difference what your actual border image is like, or what you're cutting out. Okay, so that will go on there. And then we want some ribbon. And oh, I have, surprise, surprise, hydrangea hue ribbon. So we can have a couple of pieces of that to wrap around. Put that on there so it doesn't all unravel. Right, glue dots. So I just pop a glue dot where I want my ribbon to be. So that's about the centre, but I don't want it there because I'm putting two. So I'll put it slightly below and then slightly above. Let's take that off the one. We shall pop our ribbon on there. And then take the other one off. And pop our ribbon on there. I am going to get rid of this glass mat because I forgot you've got a proper glare, haven't you? Which is not good at all. Seems as we don't need it. Pop it down there. Right, then we can turn this over. I'll just grab my seal. You can use seal, you can use tape, you can use glue dots, whatever. I've got seal, so it's just quick and easy. And get that somewhat straight. And that one, tuck it round there. And then the same on this side. Bend it round. Okay. Then we can pop a happy birthday on top on dimensionals. Just use edges, because that's all I've got on here. I'm not going to start a new one till I've used my edges. They do exactly the same job. Why wouldn't you? There we go. Right. Take the backs off these. Oh. That's off. There we go. So let's pull that down. And we'll just pop that on there, around the middle. Then I want a mat for under here in basic grey. If I can find my dog in. If that's big enough. I think my dog has found a creature. That's big enough. She's found a creature in the garden, I think. I just want to tidy the edges. She says with a blunt. So I'm just keeping an eye on the dog. So we'll have 10.2 because it's a dark colour. It only needs to be a small edge, and then it's 14.6. Abby! Someone's hiding behind a plant pot and she's really trying to get it. There it is. Wait, leave it. Come on. Come on. In. Come in. Stay here. On your bed. Sorry about that. Right, that's a very tiny border. I will just pop it around there. Evangeline. Glue on that. And that bit at the bottom. You know, sometimes you look at a piece of card, even though it's plain card, and you think that's the bottom or that's the top. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? But that's what we do. Right, then I want a hydrangea hue card base. Oh man. I'll just put a card base and score it at 10.5. I'm wondering what it was right there now. I'll have to go and have a look. And put it in half, 14.9. I use my edge of my trimmer to line it up because I tend to get it a bit off sometimes. That'll go away for another card base. I don't normally do my card bases this way for this kind of card. I do them that way so that they don't fall. So I am going to do that. I can keep that for another card. I'll just further them this way. And so 14.9, score, and then cut at 10.5. Okay. Again, put it up. Burnish both sides, break those fibres. That's my front. We will glue this onto here. No. It's quite warm and I haven't put a lot of glue on, so it doesn't give me a lot of time to move it. It sticks. There we go. Love it. And then we just want some embellishments. Now I have got hydrangea hue embellishment, but I think that's just going a bit too far. I like what I did with the other one and just used basic rhinestones. So let's grab some of these. We'll have a medium and a small. I don't know why I took the small off there. I've got lots of small here. Small. Yeah, that's it. Happy with that. Goes away. And that. So there we have. Oh no, inner. And I'm just going to stamp in this one. And I am going to be naughty and do it without. Beautiful. They close lovely. Just flick them open. And magnets. Brilliant. Stick our inside layer in. Alright, so. And there we go. Oh, so that was our other one. I've shared, and then got those. Those were the ones that I created, and these are our recreations in different colours. Gone very blue today, very blue. So I hope you like those. And it's given you a bit of inspiration if you've got the Capturing Smiles bundle. Give you a bit of inspiration for using that, or if you haven't got it, maybe I've inspired you to buy it. Right, let's switch cameras and I will say goodbye. Thank you for joining me. I will be back again this evening at 7:30, doing a scrapbook page. But I've brought the latest scrapbook kit. It's on the kits selection, so I shall be sharing that with you this evening. May bring in the Capturing Smiles bundle to add to it, but yeah. Right, thanks very much. See you again soon. Bye.